Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we are taking a look at the NECA Trick or Treat Sam figure. Trick or Treat has become a massive favorite movie of mine. Every year without fail, I make sure this is in my Halloween viewing list because it's just awesome. If you've never seen it, it's kind of a horror anthology, but everything's kind of tied together. And Sam is the big connective tissue. Beyond having the last chapter of the movie kind of to himself, he is present during every other segment throughout the movie. And I think serves as a really cool icon for the movie itself. Unfortunately, the version I have here is the re-release, and it makes me so sad that I have not yet found the original release at a price I'm willing to pay. Having this guy is somewhat enough, but the original one came with some accessories that I really would like to get my hands on, so I'll get into those when I go over accessories. Sam's big accessory is the flaming pumpkin. I love this thing. It's got its little teeth carved in here, the big X's for eyes, and a jet of flame shooting out of the top of it. This is from Sam's big scene at the end of the movie. He basically does this to freak somebody out. The original release of this figure came with another pumpkin. I don't believe it was shooting out flames. I think it was just a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern. But still, I like this one. If you got any of them, I'm glad it was this. And there's some great detail on it. There's a nice texture to it. The color is very nice. There's actually several layers of orange. It's that light, internal pumpkin-y color on the inside. They got a good pumpkin here. It's a very nice pumpkin. If you took the flame effect out, the back of it, you can almost just use it as a standard pumpkin without a top. And I kind of do wish the flame effect would be removable, but I can understand, obviously, you don't want to mess with that too much. It actually comes out the bottom of the pumpkin here. Now, Sam's other accessories are so teeny tiny. He has here his chocolate bar. And I don't even know if I can get the camera to focus on it well enough. It's so small. Little itty bitty chocolate bar. It actually has the wrapper with some writing on it. It's peeled back. And then we have a razor blade sticking out of the top, because you should always check your candy. Sam does hold it in his hand just fine, which is definitely good, because if he didn't hold it well, you'd most likely lose it. For a slightly larger accessory, he comes with his pumpkin lollipop that he's taken a bite out of, and now it's sharp, ready to stab some people. Once again, great detail. A translucent pumpkin head. You can actually see the detailing on it with the eye and the mouth. And then a striped handle here. Very nicely detailed, but so tiny. I'm just so afraid it's going to get lost in the mix. But he holds it well, once again. You can just pop it in his hand and not worry about it. Though somewhat unfortunately, his hands each hold one of these accessories and only that accessory, so you're very limited as to where you can put them. Now, with the original release, if memory serves me right, besides the extra pumpkin, Sam also came with a display base, a bag to carry all of his candy in, or whatever he happened to have in that bag, and an extra removable unmasked head, which is the piece that I want more than anything else. I love the way they made Sam look without his mask on, and I'm bummed that it did not come with the re-release. But what we did get is his iconic burlap sack head, which I love. It's this perfectly spherical top. They did a great job of getting that burlap texture in here. Just a lot of little texture pieces, a lot of great paint detail. It's got his little button eyes. Once again, beautifully done. You get the little X's in the middle with the thread. I love that he has the sewing stitch marks across this, which bring out his smile. You can see the tie around his neck, which is sadly very much the same color as the burlap. I wish it was a little different, a little better detailed, but still okay. And this part around his neck is semi-soft, but it's still fairly rigid. You can't really move it too much. But it is really good detailing. Sam's hands, you can actually see the actual hands sticking out there, the fingers, which are dirty and childlike. And then he has kind of his burlap gloves on as well. Same on this hand. This hand is closed completely to hold the lollipop, and the other one is open a little more to hold the chocolate bar. And then we have Sam's dirty pajamas. This is onesie pajamas. He's got some patches sewn in there. There's a bunch of dirt and grime on them. His little toes. Turn around. He's got his little butt flap back there. I really love just the simplicity of this costume and the effectiveness of it. And the fact that in the movie they actually hired a child to portray the character adds very much to the realism of Sam's character. I honestly do not believe a little person in this costume would have brought the same kind of innocent malevolence that Sam has. Sadly, I do love the sculpt. I do love the accessories, the little details on them. But Articulation murders this figure. He has a ball-jointed neck, but it's not very well articulated. You can go up and down a little bit, and you can go side to side a little bit, but the part on the neck gets in the way of all of it. I believe the ball joint is more so you could pop it off and then put the alternate head on. But since this version didn't come with it, you don't even really have that option. This arm, the only articulation it has is a swivel at the elbow and then a ball-jointed wrist. No movement at the shoulder whatsoever. He is permanently posed with that arm held high. This arm, however, you do have a pin socket shoulder with a very limited range, and it's that older NECA style where I'm afraid if I push it too hard, the arm's going to pop off. I've had it happen several times. I know other people do as well. But you can move it out. You can rotate it. The elbow actually has what they use on most of their figures now. You can bend and swivel. Unfortunately, because of the sculpt, you can't really bend it. That's the extent you get. I don't even know why they bothered. You cannot get much more of a bend than that, and it's almost indistinguishable. But he does have a nice swivel in there, and then another ball-jointed hand. Though with the way the glove's sculpted, it's really more of a swivel in practice. And then no other articulation for the rest of the figure. Completely posed this way and this way only. Overall, I like this figure because I love the movie. I really do absolutely love the movie. And this is one of those things that I feel like I can't really recommend to all but the most diehard fans of the movie because he doesn't have a lot going for him. His articulation is pretty minimal, and he's well sculpted, but you really just can't do much with him. His accessories are stuck where they are. His limbs are pretty much stuck where they are. He's a little statue. Granted, at a $10 price point for the reissue, he was well worth the investment. But if you're finding him at a higher price online, probably not going to be worth it, once again, unless you love the character. I would love to see NECA redo this. I hope eventually we get a Trick or Treat 2, and then maybe NECA will want to come back to him, and they'll want to give us another version with another unmasked head, maybe a version where the mouth on the costume is torn away, and you could see his actual mouth underneath it, like when he takes a bite out of the lollipop, like I kind of have him miming here. I don't know. I'd love to see this figure re-looked at by NECA. The saddest part of the whole thing is the complete version sat on a shelf at my local FYE while I hadn't seen the movie, and I let him be sold, only to find out later how awesome the movie was and to have missed out on that full set. Make sure you check out Outside the Box Reviews on Facebook, and until next time, this has been another Outside the Box review. Stay tuned for more to come.